Hey YouTube, it's Ditto from Smogon. I have an Uber battle here against Sandman from Smogon, part of a tournament. He leads with Deoxy Speed and I lead with my Scarf 2. I use Taunt in order to stop him from using Stealth Rock or Spikes. Now since I'm locked onto Taunt, I'm going to switch out to Groudon in order to set up Stealth Rocks of my own, and I can also T-Wave. For this is the bulky Groudon. He sends in a Wobbuffet, which is useless to T-Wave, and I know he's going to use Safeguard if I do, so I end up setting up an entry hazard to break any sashes on his team. He Encores me, and so I am stuck while he gets a free switch in. He switches back to his Deoxys in order to set up some entry hazards, probably, and I can't do anything while he sets up Stealth Rock, and I send out my Scissor in order to get rid of Deoxys. Now I don't want a Bullet Punch or Pursuit because I'm not sure if it will kill Deoxys, so I U-turn. And if he did switch, then I still would have been able to do damage and switch out to a counter. So I send in Mewtwo since it's going to be faster than anything on his team. And he ends up sending back in Wobbuffet. So now I make a miscalculation here, and I think that my Mewtwo's self-destruct will be able to kill Wobbuffet, but I was wrong. So I could have either taunted or tricked, but instead I lose my Mewtwo over basically nothing. So I sent in Scissor again, and I know I'm faster, so I don't need to use Bullet Punch, and I don't want to use Pursuit because if he does stay in, then I'm not sure if it will KO, so I use U-turn because I know it will get rid of Wobbuffet no matter what. And since Latios is now the fastest member of my team, I decide to send that out. He sends in a Darkrai, which is always a pretty big problem for my team. So I sent in my Bulk Up Dialga in order to absorb the sleep, because it is Sleep Talk. So I can still use it later. Now, here I'm expecting a nasty plot. So I decide I should have realized that he was playing with a Diamond or Pearl game, I'm not sure which one. So I don't think he has Nasty Plot, but I was expecting a Nasty Plot, so I switch out to my Scissor in order to Bullet Punch him after the Nasty Plot. He Focus Blasts, thinking that I'll Sleep Talk probably, and my Scissor faints. I send in Groudon because I know it will be able to take a Dark Pulse, and I have Thunder Wave on this, and if I Thunder Wave Darkrai, it'll be a huge help. He sends in a Fortress, and I paralyze it, so that's pretty much pointless. I switch out to Latios, which normally would be a pretty bad switch in, but the Latios I have has HP Fire, so I know in the sun it will definitely be able to one-hit KO Fortress. He gets a Parahax, but it was meaningless because he told me later he was going to Spike, and another layer of spikes on the field would have done nothing for the rest of this game. So I end up killing Fortress, he sends in his Darkrai, and I'm expecting Latios to die, but I need to get in my Groudon safely. I end up living with 7 HP, not really sure how, and I Draco Meteor. Sandman told me later that his Darkrai had a special attack IV of like 16 or something. So maybe that was the reason I survived. He sends in a Lucario. I'm expecting the extreme speed, but just in case he sword dances, I stay in, and I was all ready to HP fire him. I send in Groudon. Now I really don't want Lucario to set up, to sword dance up, so I go for the Earthquake. He sends in Rayquaza, and I was thinking about Thunder Waving, but I decided not to. So he got a free switch in. I Dragon Claw here, because I know it will be able to KO Rayquaza. Now that did a bit more than I had originally expected to my Groudon. Normally I'm used to an Impish Groudon, but this is Adamant, which, you know, greatly decreases its physical defense. And so, if it was Impish, this might have turned out differently. He sends back in his Lucario, close combats, KOs my Groudon, and so I send in my Kyogre, which is Spexed, because I know that Dialga will be useless against it. Now here we have a speed tie. We're both neutral nature, 90, and have max speed EVs. And he ends up winning the speed tie, KOing my Kyogre. And so all I have left is a Dialga, which can't do anything because it's asleep and slower than Lucario. And close combat will definitely KO me. So, good game, Sandman. Very close. Damn speed tie, but whatever. Yeah.